with Robert Reese. Come and get them hot facts with Robert Reese. Come and get them hot facts with Robert Reese. Come and get them hot facts with Robert Reese. Come and get them hot facts with Robert Reese. Come and get them hot facts with Robert Reese. Hot facts. Come and get them hot facts. Get them hot facts with Robert Reese. Come and get them hot facts. Come and get them hot facts. Come and get them hot facts with Robert Reese. Hot facts. Robert Reese. Hot facts. Hot facts. Robert Reese. Hot facts. Gig economy. Robert Reese. News channel. The gig economy. News channel.
People, I know you see that title up there. This is let me get the frog out my throat. Let me look at the comments so I can see when they come. Let me get the frog out my throat. People, we all saw a live earlier with Jeff Thomas Black. That was arguably the best interview of the year. Right now, I was on Thomas Schubeck maybe about an hour or so ago. I was on Thomas Schubeck's channel, and there was a comment section there, and it was on the video. And I saw that a gentleman, and I have this gentleman backstage. He is backstage. This is going to be interview number 2 for today. He is backstage. I'm going to bring this gentleman up. I'll go ahead and give a little background. This gentleman is a DoorDash driver, drives multiple apps. Hello, Brian. How's it going? He drives multiple apps. He got a whiff Sin City, got some information, thought everything was good, and then he ended up doing some things that put him on the backside there. So all in all, the total is up there. We're gonna go ahead and get over that. But this is something that I was speaking about, me myself, about what can happen, or what could have happened, or what still is happening. We're gonna get down to this right now, and this is another piece of the puzzle. As you guys see that, there's stuff going on, with Pedro, and then Thomas Schubeck with Glitchgate and Glitch Dash, and then there's Torp and Dad Dash going in, and then there's who leaked the glitch, and then there's Jeff Thomas Black, and then Revolution and Hot Facts, and a lot of people coming. There's a lot that's going on, and a lot of the people in the community are fully in everything. You're in one camp or a circle or something, and what we did. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Brian. Appreciate that. So I'm gonna bring this gentleman upstage. Okay, let me go ahead and bring him up. Let me hit guest here. Let me go ahead and bring him up. We got Eric right here, everyone. Make sure you go ahead, give Eric a round of applause. Eric here on Hot Facts. Let me tell you what Hot Facts stands for. Hot Facts is the truth behind what you stand for. That is the motto of the brand. Hot Facts is the truth behind what you stand for. Hello, Bob Bradley. Hello, Bob Bradley. Great to see you in here, Roy. Great to see you in here, Bob Bradley. So we're gonna go into. I'm gonna start here. Let me start here. How long have you been dashing? Oh, wait. Sorry, wait. Let me unmute you. That was my fault. That was my fault. There, now I can hear you. How long have you been dashing, and how long have you been gig driver?
This August actually completed my first year anniversary. So I've been doing it for about a year, give or take.
Okay.
I want to say I signed up for DoorDash probably in maybe May of last year, but I didn't really think that in my particular market there was going to be any real work because I live in a small town, so to speak. But I actually just didn't give it a try until late July, and I got really into it in August. So I would say, yeah, this August is now the 1 year anniversary for me.
Okay, great, great. So you are a driver, you are an active driver. Now, is it just DoorDash or do you drive any other apps?
I actually have DoorDash, Uber Eats. I'm not a Uber driver, as so to speak, picking up rides because I
Mm-hmm.
just don't really people in my car. And I also do Instacart. So those three are my main, go tos. But
Okay, so you're getting it in. So, yeah, so
yeah,
you're getting it in. You are what we call here on Hot Facts. You are a qualified driver. So you are coming with credibility. Okay, you already have that. The only way we take away credibility here is if you take your own credibility away. So you are already a qualified interviewee here on Hot Facts. You are a driver and you are credible. Okay, now I'm in California, you're in California also.
yeah.
Okay, what city are you in?
I'm here in Fresno, California, here in
Oh,
Central
you
Valley.
were with TFT. You're with TFT. My deputy of my channel here, TFT. That's his market there, Fresno. So yeah, he's from Fresno to Tulare to Sanger to all that, all up in there. So yeah. So hopefully, if he's watching right now, um, he can find you. Let him know where they can find you at in case he wants to send you a message now. On YouTube, it's Mr. Falcon,
It's Magic Falcon, actually.
Magic Falcon, Magic
Yeah,
Falcon, and 5054 or 52.
54.
54 Magic Falcon 54. So if you guys want to go ahead, TFT, send that message to him. This is another driver in your area. You might learn something from each other. You know what I mean?
You just never know.
Yep. So you're up there. I'm down here in SoCal. Okay, so I'm in Moreno Valley, so I'm like the last city before the desert starts. So it's like I deliver to the sticks is what TFT says. I deliver to the sticks, the boonies, some of them long rides, and then the city part is here too. Okay, so I know that it can get tough. Okay, now TFT makes some pretty good money up there. He does the DoorDash and Uber Eats and Point Pickup, and he does Walmart Spark. I think he may have shipped also, but he sticks to the DoorDash and Point Pickup as his two, and then Walmart Spark if something's there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it can get tough. Now, when did you hear of Sin City Deliveries?
I actually, to be fair, um, I actually heard of Pedro's channel first, and I
Mm-hmm.
subscribed because, again, at the time, I wanted to get to me, knowledge is power, and I wanted to get as much information that I possibly could from anything and anyone, regardless if I agreed or disagreed with, the stats they would put out or their particular views on things. And originally, I subscribed to Pedro, and he was providing a whole lot of information, but at the time, it just wasn't coinciding with my particular market the same way. And I didn't have anything against Pedro because I kind of recognized that, he puts out there quite often that where he resides. And I figured, I've door dashed in Vegas, I've door dashed in Dallas, I've door dashed in Denver before, I've door dashed in Atlanta. And it's a just major night and day compared to those cities where I particularly live, where those bigger cities are. So I figured, what Pedro is talking a lot about is more in correlation with those bigger cities compared to the what my little city is. But I still wanted to learn some things, but I wanted to be more realistic with the people that I'm actually viewing that, could kind of steer me in a better direction because they're actually in that kind of same type of environment. Not that Vegas is a small city, because it ain't, but at the same time, that's how I ended up falling upon Sin City Deliveries, because there was a point in time where I'm not sure if you're aware, probably, that there was a big interview where Sin City and Pedro had that interview with each other. A lot of it had to do with Top Dasher versus cherry picking and how they went back and forth with that. Market, in order to be very successful with that DoorDash, I don't know, what would you say your buddy's name here in Fresno is?
TFT. Here,
TFT.
hold up. Wait. Give me one quick sec. Let me go ahead and fix this sound thing, because it just went from the Wi-Fi. So let me just fix this sound so I can hear it correctly. Let me do this. No. Yes. Let me see. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I could.
All right. Now, what'd you say about TFT?
So, like I was saying, I'm not sure how he conducts himself with DoorDash, but me in particularly, I found that in my smaller, because I stated Fresno because that's the nearest big city to me, but I kind of more venture out, like you said, Sanger, Fowler, all these smaller cities, because, it just makes more sense to me. And because of the congestion of so many dashers out in Fresno, I kind of steer out from that area. So I don't know how TFT, is he a cherry picker? Is he a top dasher? Whatever floats his boat.
He's a top dasher. He cherry picks by declining the orders that he doesn't want. He keeps his AR high enough so that when he wants to get rid of an order, he can. So he does that.
In this particular where me and him are at, it's kind of necessary to be a top dasher and do as you said he does. That's kind of the same way that I conduct myself out here as well. There's a lot of crappy orders that you got to take, but it kind of makes up for it if you keep your AR high, right? Whereas, and that mentality introduced me to Sin City because he promotes that, right? He promotes that process. So therefore, I steered more towards that direction and kind of steered further away from Pedro, not because I didn't like the guy or anything like that, because I don't have anything against Pedro, but it's just his particular way of dashing wasn't really valuable to me in my particular market at the time. And in City, it was kind of right on, a lot of the stuff that he was saying kind of really fit what I had to do, not what I wanted to do, because I wanted to cherry pick. I'm not going to lie, it's a lot nicer, but our market just here in the Fresno County area just isn't busy enough to be able to do that. Like I stated to you, I've been to these bigger cities where, you don't even need to be a top dasher. You just turn your stuff on and it's so busy that, you can get away with that. Here in this particular area, it didn't work. So, that's why I steered more in the direction of Sin City, and that's pretty much how I got introduced to him, through Pedro's channel, I guess, so to speak.
Okay, now while watching Sin City, I had Sin City here on HotFacts before the Great Divide and their crew. Big Ron was on here with them, but I allowed Sin City to unveil his pyramid on the levels of success, on taking the orders here and all of that. I'm pretty sure you've seen that pyramid, and he's broken it down. You watch his stuff, right? Now Was it the pyramid that intrigued you on how he was breaking it down, or was it the pyramid with the money he was saying that you can make if you do it like this? Go ahead, break it down.
I'm going to be straight up with you. That pyramid just really wasn't, so eye-catching to me. It was the dollar amounts at the end of the day and how easily, he was picking them up. And I said to myself, if he can do that there in his particular area under Top Dasher, and I'm a Top Dasher here, not because I want to be, but because I have to be, then I'm going to follow his direction to get that bag the same way that he's getting, you know? And,
Right.
you know, because I'm going to be honest with you, even after I tell my story of what ended up happening to me because of following his guidance, I can honestly say that even some of the things that Sin City put as a guidance tool or stats or particular facts that he put out, I still at the time disagreed with. There was that's what's great about YouTube and social media, is that you can follow somebody, but that doesn't mean that you're going to get graded if you say, no, teacher, I don't think that that's right. Whereas like in a classroom, it's a little different. You tell the teacher, no, I don't agree with you, that might you know steer you in a bad direction or something like that. Whereas with Sin City, I can pick and choose what he was guiding and decide which one in my particular market that I felt was most beneficial or not. But to your question, the main thing that really attracted me to his channel, like I'm pretty sure so many others, was the fact that he put out there his ride along screenshots, as those were proof of what he was actually making daily. And when he's doing stuff like going and renting Teslas, or we got to go back.
The Teslas, the
Yeah,
Teslas.
yeah,
My wife said that when she first started seeing the videos, she said he's gonna start just doing deliveries and Teslas. Like, he was thinking about the money that you have to be making there to be doing all this stuff, and then having all this extra stuff. When he's going to eat lunch, he's going to eat lunch at not the little spot around the corner. He's
yeah,
going. He's going to semi-restaurant style, full out, sitting outside at the the bakeries and stuff. He's doing all that stuff. So that's enticing to someone to be like, man, dude out here making the money like
well,
that.
if you go back in his videos, and I went back, I didn't actually start watching him obviously from the beginning of his channel. But if you were to go back, and I'm not sure if you're aware of this, dude used to live in the back of his car. That brown Malibu that he even has a video showing how he would stick his feet through the back seat of his, trunk, and put his pillows out and window shades and everything on his car. So that was another inspiration that made me say, dude, you went from parking out in a parking lot somewhere, living in your car in the back seat of your Malibu car that you dash in now, to now making 200 plus a day easily. So, even that
That
story.
story sounds that's a really look. That's a really great story. Like if that was the intro of a book, the first couple pages there, the first page, I'll be like, okay, let me see what this is about. Now, let me ask you this: since knowing everything that you know now, do you think that was the hook and ladder? Do you think that was part of the hook now? Now,
I
now, now, after, do you think it's part of the hook?
looking back at it, I don't trust him, as far as I can see him. So, the guy is I can honestly say Sin City is a very intelligent promoter, and it wouldn't, now that I've seen what he's done, it would not surprise me one bit had he put out that video on purpose. He probably wasn't even homeless, but he just portrayed that as a story that he was going to eventually make, you know? Once he
Mm-hmm.
realized, I know what the ending to this story is going to be, but I got to have a really good hook beginning to the story so that
Yes.
people will watch in the entirety, you know?
Yeah.
The whole sympathy part of someone saying, wow, because let's face it, people out here are struggling. There might be a homeless guy out there that's living in his car, you know? There might be a guy that just got separated from his wife and he doesn't have a place to live, you know? So they can relate to something like this, you know? They can relate to say, you know, how do I make money? All I got is just my car, you know? And Richard, I'm sure, you know, I would love to hear down the road if someone like myself who's going to tell his story, you know, someone else comes on your show after hearing this and saying, hey, I want to tell my story because I lived in the back of my car and I watched Richard's videos and that inspired me to a T because I literally was just like him, snoring in the back of my ride and in the Kohl's parking lot, you know? So, and you know, the story that I'm going to tell, it's not, as me and you discussed off air, is that it's not, it's the repercussions of everything that Richard might or might not. Now, actually, I shouldn't say might not. He knows. He knows about a lot of the people's lives that he affected, even though he didn't pocket some of that money. He knows. But the fact is that if you've noticed, he hasn't pumped out any more videos because of that same reason. He doesn't have any foot to stand on any longer, you know? And the truth of the matter is that just tells me you have a guilty conscience, because if not, you would still continue to be doing what you were doing prior to this. Because
Right. And
if it,
ooh,
it
hey
wasn't a
boy, you hitting.
if,
Keep going. You are
if
hitting.
it wasn't a thing, if it wasn't a thing to begin with, then he would still continue to be as normal, business as usual, you know? But the fact is that the guilty conscience is there because it shows, obviously,
Right.
you know, with his absence now.
Right. Now, since you brought it up, we just go dive right into it then. Now, everybody thinks that whoever signed up to his Discord, they think every single person was just paying him $40 and all of this other stuff. Did you sign up for the Discord?
I did not. I did not.
Uh,
But
all right. Now there's
I
people
there,
that paid
there was
$40.
there was actually multiple occasions where I did actually think about it. I was close. I was very close to, but I
Okay.
did.
Okay. That is cool right there that you did not, because you did not get the other part of the gaffle. You know what I
Well,
mean?
we haven't heard my story yet, so
Oh,
you
all
know.
right, all right. So dang. Dang. All right. So we just go get into it. All right. People think that they were spending $40 and he made that off of a ton of people, the forty bucks. My thing was, first of all, we don't know who paid for $40. We don't know what content creators paid $40. I would like to know what gig content creators signed up for the Discord and paid $40. I would like to know that myself. Richard, if you're watching, I would like to know that question. You can come on Hot Facts like you did before. Everything is still the same. I just have to know for the people, Richard. I just have to. All right. We don't know any of that. So it's kind of hard to put dollar signs on how much he potentially made. Now, I was telling people, what about the people that were may have put in super chats and ask a question, and he took money that way and really didn't even get to their answer because he just skipped over through to, somebody else might have put one in, but we can't go back and keep, we don't have those numbers either. What I also said is what you were gonna go ahead and talk about and break out. I was like, man, what if somebody actually like went
Invest.
and got a new car or something? He was telling them what equipment or all this other stuff, and they went buying all this stuff, and come to find out they still not making any more than what they were doing right there. So you bought that for no reason, and all that other stuff. I know that there are tons of people who lost a lot of money because of the manipulation that you just spoke about. Okay. Now, when I saw your comment, this is right up my alley right here, because this is how I felt personally. You can't put a number on it unless people come out and say what really happened to them. So this is the way so people can actually put a dollar sign to what the glitch actually did, and see for yourself. Now,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and just give you the floor. Break down, the money that we spoke about there, and any other that has happened. Break down. Let the people know what happened, and the floor is yours. Let me know when you're done.
You got it. So before I start the story, I think it's very important that I make this clear, is that in my particular situation, Sin City didn't pocket necessarily directly from me. I didn't pay for the $40 Discord. I didn't send him any funds for any type of extra advice, or there is no money that came out of my pocket and went directly into his. Clear. But that doesn't mean, like you and me talked about, that there wasn't still loss on me, and I'm sure a whole lot of other people under his influence. And now I'm going to say my story. So I want to say it was late May, early June of this year, correct? That I started planning a trip, for me and my girl to get out of town. There's a lot of times that, we as Door Dashers, that's the benefit of being a top dasher, is that you can go. When we took a trip to Atlanta, we stopped at Dallas, we DoorDash there. We got to Atlanta, we DoorDash there. You come back on the way back, and it's you boarding on a different plane. So we stopped in Denver, we DoorDash there, and that was my decision to have done all those things. And in this particular case, it's the same thing. I, at a certain point in late May, early June, had talked to my girlfriend, and she's a big fan. We're both big fans of casino. So we had said, you know what, let's take a trip out to Vegas, And not only are we going to take a trip out there, but you know what? It's going to be beneficial for us, because if Richard, is showing that type of gain output from Vegas area, then we can go out there and we could just basically vacation for free. Think about it. You make a couple hundred on a Friday. You make a couple more hundred on a Saturday. That's $400. You pay for your hotel. You pay for your car rental. You pay for your fuel. Maybe even your food. That you're out there. $400 in 2 days is a whole lot of money, and that's what was being portrayed to myself and many others. So I had sent a
Mm-hmm.
comment. I had sent a comment to Sin City on one of his videos saying, "Hey, hotel is reserved, car rental is reserved. I'm taking my 98 acceptance rate with me. I'll see you out there." I'm going kicking my heels, thinking I'm going to take a 4-day weekend. I'm going to reserve a hotel Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. And I'm going to rent a car, reserve a car. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. And I'm going to obviously have to pump out the gas that I'm going to have to go out there with, And mind you, a lot of people are watching this video and they're already saying, oh, yeah, but you were going to take a vacation anyway. No, that's not the case. If I wouldn't have known that, I was going to take a trip out there on the 4th of July weekend, which was a 4-day weekend for me, then I wouldn't have went, because I'm only going out there because of the fact that I'm saying to myself, 2 out of the 4 days are going to end up being working and making those 400 to pay for the other 2 days that we're going to enjoy ourselves out there. If that wouldn't have been the case, I wouldn't have made the trip. I would have stood. So I have the numbers, the hotel reservation was 180.
Okay.
You obviously know, you book early, you get a big discount. The car rental was $230 with the collision insurance that they.
Right.
And then the fuel that I was going to have to go and come back from California, and it was another $120. So that $500. See, I even do it the way Richard does it on his. If you ever watch it,
Yeah.
he even does that whole. I've already got into that. The guy has me already, programmed from watching so many of his freaking videos. So as you see, it's well over $500 that I made a trip thinking I was going to basically get reimbursed by the money that I was going to earn out there. Well, that obviously was not the case. I get out there and I'm thinking, I'm doing things by the book out here. I don't know anything about any glitch. I actually I'm one of those Door Dashers that bust my tail. I take the good with the bad, and I take the good orders with the bad because, it overall has allowed me to be able to continue Top Dasher. If I don't do it, then I won't be able to. And I figured, all he's telling me is that you got to be a Top Dasher. You got to have your acceptance rate at this amount. You got to have your stats at this amount. And I already know. And it's already like, okay, I got it. Everything that you're telling me that I got to have to be successful in your city, I got it and more, So there's no reason why I should be able to go to the exact area where you're going and have the same amount of success, right?
Right.
At that point, I go and as I mentioned, me and my girl are out there, and it is just horrible. It's a horrible experience. I look back at it and I say, wow, I sure, not only did I lose the money because of the rentals and the hotel reservations and the fuel, but I also lost the time because if I would have been here in my area, I could have made that and more, because I'm going to be honest, here in my particular market, I make, maybe not continuously, but I make a good living. It pays my bills, And I said to myself, there was multiple times as I'm out there, I'm saying to myself, man, if I would have just stayed home, and just stayed working over there, I wouldn't have lost all this money, first of all, but I'd also be increasing my bank account over there,
Right.
So
How long would it have taken you to make the $500 in your market? Then because you spent $5. So how long would it have taken you to make $500?
Well, that's why I'm not salty too much about it, because when I came back, that I was supposed to have returned on Tuesday, but it was just so bad that on a Monday, I even called it quits and I just returned because I was just losing too much money. And, by the Friday, that same Friday, I had already made up and more of the 500 that I lost, here in my market. So I looked at it more as a business failure, a business mindset failure, that I said, it was an opportunity that I gave it a try, a business experience. And unfortunately, it didn't pan out, and I still wasn't too upset because I said to myself, Richard, I don't know how he's doing it now. That's what, the long conversation from Vegas to Central California with my girlfriend on the way home was, how is Richard doing it then? Is
Right.
it ratings that maybe are unbeknownst to us, that maybe other things count, maybe because of the fact that he already has and he stresses that in his videos. He says, I've already had these return customers over and over and over, that maybe that's the reason why he is more successful out there, because if he already has 100 plus or maybe even 1,000 plus deliveries to this one particular customer that continues to give him 5 stars, what makes me think that maybe DoorDash is logically going to say, well, how are we going to give this order to Eric when we know that Sin City can deliver it for a 5-star? This guy, yeah, he's great over there in the Central Valley in California, and he's got plenty of clout with his customers over there, but over here, can we trust him if Sin City is out there and available? Let's give it to the guy that we know can do the job already. The guy that has 1,000 5-star ratings with these customers. Let's give it to him. And that's what logically I started thinking. And then it just so happened that Richard, after, I don't know, maybe a couple weeks after that occurrence, that situation, he posted that. He said, I already built a relationship, systematically with a lot of these customers, and developed all those 5-star ratings that the
Mm-hmm.
system is take that into consideration when it's choosing two top dashers that are similar in stats and everything else. The breaker is going to be that particular stat, saying, he's got experience with those particular customers, so let's give it to him. And my brain, making excuses for Richard, is saying that's the reason why he beat me out on those. But I said, you know what, that still doesn't add up, because I could understand maybe 2 or 3 a day, him getting it over me, but at the same time, I was getting garbage. That was just like, and I was at all. Not only was I in his area, but I was even going to the stores and restaurants that.
In the videos you saw, huh? You
Yeah,
were going, yeah. You were like, man, he said this is one of my favorite places to pick up from. I'm about to go to the favorite place to pick up from. If Richard can make it here at this place, so he said he made this much money off this place in 1 week. I'm about to get me some of them days up in here. That's what you were thinking right there.
I'm comparing
Dang,
apples.
that's what you were thinking.
Yeah, that's exactly what was going through my mind. And unfortunately, like I said, even Uber, I had to switch over on the last couple of days, because I said, you know what? If anything, I'm just going to turn on, because I have 2 phones. And I just said, and that's the way I conduct myself here, is that one phone is just basically DoorDash. The other one is Uber Eats and Instacart, because they're just not as popular as DoorDash. So I don't want both of them to, be
Yeah.
interfering with each other on the same app and draining the battery and stuff while I'm driving. So it just surprisingly, me and my girlfriend are sitting in the car, and just the Uber just keeps on blaring, bing, 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 and my DoorDash is just right there, quiet as a mouse. And I'm
And
saying,
so you have to switch. You spit that, get out there, man. See that, and instead of like, man, I'm not gonna just keep climbing up this hill. I'll keep sliding down. You switch apps completely.
yeah,
Oh yeah, you got that put a
totally.
bad taste. That put a bad taste in your mouth. Now he was glitching you when you were there. See, this is the whole thing about it. You are a subscriber, faithful one, watching your videos. You even did his hand signs right here in the video. You're doing a thing. You get all the way out there because he says, "Hey, anyone can come out here and dash with me." He has said that. He has said that. You like everything is cool. You get
Brief.
out there, and he actually glitched one of his subscribers. He glitched orders out of his subscriber, took money that you could have, because he was pitching you them crappy orders. He was pitching you them crappy orders on his
I was
brother's
getting,
phone.
I was getting,
He was getting
getting
orders on his
time.
brother's phone. He always has his brother's phone, 2 separate accounts. So he's doing the glitch on both of them, throwing the crappy orders to you while you're out there trying to have a good experience. It would have been a great testimonial, if he would have brought you up on his show when he's live and say, "How was your experience here?" He took that away from you. That's something you want to do as a subscriber. He made you mad, and he was glitching you. Like, he actually glitched one of his own. You let him know you were going out there and everything, and he glitched one of his own. Now,
Now,
people, Richard
let
don't
me
got
ask
to
you
get the
this,
money in
Robert.
his hand. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Let me ask you this, Robert. Okay, it if you, I can't put everything against him, because I'm going to say this. If given the opportunity, which he did, because I had let him know I'm heading out there, right? Obviously, in my opinion, it would have been nice of him to even message me and say, "Hey, what's your email, bro? Let me message you real quick." And say behind the scenes, "Hey, listen, um, you might not want to come out here. And
Right.
I'm saving you a lot of money and time by telling you this particular information, but I hope that you don't expose it. Um, I run a show behind the scenes that allows me to get these numbers. And if you come out here, you're not going to be able to get those type of numbers. That would have been common courtesy. But, like I know, him putting that information out there would have probably said, I can't give him that information because that's just going to blow things out the water. And what happened this last week or so with his testimonial about I cheated would have possibly happened back in 4th of July when he's taking the risk. If I give Eric that inside scoop, who's to say that he's not going to say, hey, look I have a screenshot. Richard ended up sending me this, and this is what he's really all about,
Right.
And so he's not going to put it out there. He wasn't, but in a perfect world,
Right.
But, it was just basically for me a learning experience. And the funny thing is, I'm not really that type of gullible person. I really am not. I'll give you an example of how I'm not. One day, a gentleman with a polo shirt and, even I forgot what the sign was, ADT patch on his shirt, comes up to my house, and he talks to my wife and he says, hey, I noticed that you don't have a dog. I noticed that you guys just moved in here. We're offering this new alarm special on your house that, we could install it for free. You just got to pay the monthly installments to us, but we would have to come into your house. Can you tell me when you guys are not home so that we can do a view of your house? And me, I'm in the bedroom when this is happening at the front door. And I jump out of my bed and I head over there.
Babe, shut his ass down. You like, shut that down.
Yeah, whoa. And I just immediately told him, you need to get the hell out of here, asking what time are we not going to be home? How many people live here? Do we have a dog? That's all information that a thief that would want to come in my home when I'm not here would like to find out. Oh, I'm sorry you feel that way, sir, but if you're just not interested, then you're just not interested. And he just got in his, not a ADT van, and he just said, I'm out of here, So I catch a lot of those little things,
Right,
But
right.
With Richard, it was a little different because he was showing me proof and receipts, so to speak, the way that they've been saying that lately on a lot of these channels. So me personally, I took it as, this guy is actually showing me proof of who he is, what he is, and how he does it. So therefore, I'm going to follow that because a lot of it does coincide perfectly with the way that I conduct myself in my particular market as well. So, it's an eye opener that, it's another part of my life where I feel as though it's a good thing because it happened, and now I just got to continue to make sure that I keep my guard up at all times because this world will eat you alive, and you just it really is. That's the so to speak sign of the times where it's just almost like if we're out there in nature, man, and the lion just always wants to eat the hyena or the zebra, and you always got to just be on the lookout. You always got to be with your guard up.
Sharks in the water, man. It's sharks in the water. It's sharks in the water, man. Now, we're about to wrap it up in just a little bit here. I want to thank you for being on here. I got a couple more questions though.
Okay.
All this stuff has happened to you. Are you more wary of channels that you are watching now because of this? Like when you just click on a gig channel, are you paying more attention to like why they're showing all these screenshots of dollars and all this stuff? Has it changed the way you look at the content now?
I don't want to say it's changed my guard up. It just tells me now that even though it looks like a duck, it still might not be a duck. It just raises my guard even higher than what it was. Richard really pulled a fast one on me, and I'm going to be the first one to admit that. I'm sure there's a lot of people who paid those $40, and whoever those are, you're going to find it far in between for them to be able to have the gall to be able to still come out here and admit that they did get swindled. But for me, like I said, it doesn't really hurt me that much because of the fact that I still came back home and I made that up. I made that shit up in a few days. So
Right.
it was a loss, but at the same time, it was a business investment loss that I learned from, and it was an experience that I said to myself, keep your guard up, and matter of fact, pick it up a little higher. One thing, Robert, that it does did change as far as gig tube content creators is that now I appreciate real even more now. For
Right.
example, now, and don't get me wrong, I'm still not in agreement with everything that what's his name, Santiago, what's his
Right.
yeah, I'm still not in agreement with everything that he says on his channel, but at the same time, I appreciate the fact that it kind of does sound that he is authentic. You know, I'm not going to follow anything that he says because, again, my guard is like extremely high now. I noticed that there have been other content creators that, just
Hmm.
start now, and they're kind of saying, I have the Superman shield and I'm not going to let you down the way that Richard let you down. So follow me now. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I just can't because this guy's just screwed me over. So I'm just not gonna say, okay, I'm gonna close that and open it up to you now. No, it's
Right.
not
Yeah.
like I'll
That's
watch your
not how it
stuff.
works. That's not how it works. I call it now. You're pretty much gonna be like, hey, I see what you're saying. I'm gonna take what I can take from that. I'm gonna use that. You keep all the rest of that stuff over there. You know what I mean? No gluttony. I ain't gotta eat the whole turkey. All I need is just a couple pieces. That's all I need.
Give me a
You know
couple
what I
nipples.
mean? Yeah, and that's it. I got something for you here. You were doing something that is you know, it's tough to do. A lot of people would, I'm never going to tell no one and all this other stuff. What's your advice for someone, you know, to tell them why they should tell their story? And secondly, after telling your story, you didn't did your thing. After telling your story, do you feel better now that you got it out of your mouth? So for the people that have had the same thing happen, tell them why they might want to speak up about it, and then tell me how you feel now after you said it publicly.
Okay, that's easy. In this particular line of work that we do, we are independent contractors, and with that included, it means that you have to make the best decision for your business to succeed. And I'm pretty sure if you were to ask any major business owner, not all of them have always made the right decision. They have made decisions that have made them better. They have made mistakes that have made them better. So it's nothing, in my opinion, that I should be ashamed of. Or do you think that I should be ashamed and embarrassed? I feel embarrassed, but at the same time, I feel as though I took this as the positive and said I learned from it, and I would advise that to all these people as well. There's no shame in the fact that you made a mistake. We all do. And the fact is that the only way that we're going to be able to clean up, that type of mess that got affected to me and probably so many others is if we try to, stream out all of these people that are trying to pull out the scams to the point where it no longer, they say to themselves, I can't do this kind of deal anymore because of the fact there's just so many people on game now. People have admitted the mistakes. People have admitted their swindling that they ended up getting done to them. And I'm not going to be Eric. I'm not going to be John. I'm not going to be, because I've learned from each one of them. So if you stay quiet, then they're going to say, oh, okay, well, that just happened to Eric. And they're going to go out and go do something under the guidance of a guy like Sin City, and they're going to make a different mistake.
Right.
Whereas in the background, there's that guy back there that's saying, you that happened to me. I wish I could have said something because then that wouldn't have happened to you, you know?
Right.
And my thing. That's the reason why I wanted to do this interview with you so much, is partly because I want him to get shut down. I'm not gonna sit here and sugarcoat it. The fact of the matter is that I want Sin City to pay for, what not only he did to me, but to so many others, because it's not right. You know, I don't know how
Right.
you could, when it's your turn, I don't know how you're going to be able to stand in front of the creator and say, well, I didn't do anything wrong. When the creator says, well, look at all those people over there, they think differently. They think differently. They think that you did do something wrong. And I want it to be assured that inside his conscience, he says to himself, yes, I did do something wrong. Because as of right now, he's really portraying it as, I mean, he even called me stupid on his live where I told him, knowledge is power. And people paid that $40 to get knowledge from you. And you didn't give it, you gave what you wanted them to see. You didn't get it in its entirety. Had you given it in
Right.
its entirety, then that's a totally different story. That's why
Right.
when people ask me, because here in the local DoorDash and gig community, we do talk, amongst my other fellow DoorDashers that are here about some of the content creators that are on here. And, some of them feel differently than I do. Some of them feel that both Pedro and um, Sin City Deliveries, Richard, are both swindlers. And in my opinion, I disagree with that. And that, again, that's just my opinion.
Right.
But I don't really feel that Richard was really encouraging Top Dasher. I don't think he ever really has. I think he's always been the guy that's always encouraged, just cherry picking and finding other ways through DoorDash to make money. Whereas Richard, he was portraying a certain way of doing things, and he portrayed that he wanted people to do him that particular way, and he wasn't doing it himself, and I think that's where the big difference between the two is that he was, it's funny because in his video, that last one that he put out there of I cheated and stuff, he pumps out at the very end, he's showing his guitar and he's saying, I charged $50 to teach people how to play this guitar,
Oh yeah, no. He said $65.
yeah,
He picked that up to say that he's trying to make the money, and if he was gonna charge someone, I was like, stop it. I was like, stop it. He had it, picked it up. He played the guitar on my channel because I asked him, can he really play it? He picked it up and start plucking some strings. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like,
I've never seen
yeah.
it, but immediately in my head, I say, "What are you gonna do, guy? Are you gonna get on a video chat with somebody in New York City, some 15-year-old kid that wants to learn how to play the guitar because he sees you playing and strumming along and sounding great? I want to sound like him." When in reality, is it even him playing the guitar? Or does he just have something in the background playing a sound
Oh
over?
yeah. You got questions there.
Yeah,
Yeah. Whatever he does, you got a question about it. It don't matter. It don't matter if he tied his shoe. It's somebody that came and tied it for him. You don't care what it is. Yeah, you
yeah.
don't care what it is. So I'm guessing right now, I'm guessing that you feel great by opening it up and saying some stuff out loud because he's watching. He has to. I tagged him. So he's watching, trying to see which one of my people is gonna go against me. He might say something real sarcastic or do something else like that. Don't worry, don't worry. He can always come on Hot Facts and let me ask him some
Yeah.
questions and and just get it going just like that. DoorDash Revolution is my ace of this channel. What's up, Uber Jeep AZ also. Now DoorDash Revolution says, he says, did Sin City have a business luncheon with this driver? So, Rev, earlier, he said that he let Sin City know he was going out there, went out there, and when you got out there, did you guys actually meet up, or did he back out of that?
Funny that you asked that. I looked up so much to him, that I figured he's out there, he's grinding from sun up to sundown. that, you know, that type of particular person is the type of person that is a model citizen, in my opinion, you know? So it wasn't
He
just
open
about it.
tailored you. Damn,
Yeah.
he open
He,
tailored.
he he wasn't just catching my attention because of the fact that DoorDash and the Top Dasher whole thing. It was the fact of the person that he was, you know, the person that, or he portrayed himself out to be, the hard worker, the guy that's out there hustling. He would go home late at night sometimes. I was out there on 4th of July. I know how hot it was, 110 degrees. He was still out there. So,
You
you know,
never saw him in the field. You thought,
no,
yeah,
but
yeah.
but but like I was getting to is that, you know, I looked up to this guy. I wanted to meet him. Part of the whole experience of going out there was going to be the cherry on top of me actually meeting the guy that I felt was a stand-up guy. You know, and I didn't meet him, not because of the fact that we didn't set anything up, but I figured if you're all at these places and I'm going to all of those places 3 days in a row, what's the chance of me and you running into each other should be at least a split 50-50 coin toss. And I didn't run into the guy even once, you know? I would have
Yeah,
loved
it's
to.
kind of like it's kind of like, you know, if you watch the hip hop scene and stuff, or these YouTube videos, you know, like the people are so crazy now, they'll go drive to somebody else's neighborhood and say, I don't even see you outside. I thought I was gonna see you. You say you out here all the time. Where you at? You know,
Yeah,
I came and I came all the way here, and I'm like, look, I'm right here. Where you at?
yeah.
You're
Like
not
the
even
old
in the turf. You're not even
like
in the turf.
the old Boost Mobile commercial. Where you at? You know?
Yeah, gee whiz. Well, man, look, I thank you. I thank you for stopping on by. Um, man, thank you for your story. This was a great one. There's people out there who watch a lot of content creators, and they're probably going to watch the replay or something else like that, and it happened to them. And if you guys are out there and if you want to tell your story, you can come on Hot Facts. You guys know how to get in contact with me. Ask another content creator, how do we get in contact with Hot Facts? You can do that. Before everyone leaves, you get final words. What's up, Coach Eli? Good to see you in here. You get final words. What are your
Okay.
final words?
Last
Final words for everybody out there. This is going to be your final message.
okay. Like I
And,
said,
and, and and this don't have to just be about this. It can be your final message is anything you feel like having it be.
I'm gonna say this. I'm sure that, you know, and Richard has made it clear out there that he said it on multiple times, the phrase 15 minutes of fame. He might even look at this as, oh, Magic Falcon, he's just on there because he just wants to get heard. He just wants to, you know, get his little 15 minutes of fame on this popular Robert Reese channel. But the truth is, my proof of that, the reason why I can say that that's not true is look at how many videos I've uploaded. Don't you think that if I really wanted 15 minutes of fame, I would already have put out content? But the truth of the matter is, I'm coming on here because I want Sin City's delivery to get shut down, and I want him to pay the price for his actions. You know, it's not right what he did, and the truth of the matter is, this world doesn't need any more Sin City deliveries type of people in it, and that's the reason why I came out on this channel. And it was, as me and you agree, Robert, you wanted to do this interview tomorrow. Who was the one that was pushing to get this done immediately?
Yeah, and the craziest thing, once I heard you say, or I saw you say, I want to go on tonight. I said, that's how I like to get it done. I was like, okay, I was giving you a day, because I didn't know. So sometimes people say, man, that's too quick. So I gave a day right there. But when you said, let's get it done, what did I say? I said, all right, give me a sec. I'm about to set it on up. I said, I'm gonna send you the link, and then bada boom, bada bing.
Yeah.
There it is there. And I thank you for stopping by, people. He wants to get Sin City deliveries shut down. He is not the first person I have heard say that out of their mouth or in comments or anywhere else. You guys know my rule. If there's one, there's 10. If there's 10, there's 100. If there's 100, there is 1,000. So we know that he's got about 7,000 subs. So people, we automatically know that he has at least 700 people out there who feel like this and they want to get him shut down. Don't sit there and be behind the curtain. You got to stand up for yourself. If you don't do it, who will? I'm going to use those as my final words. People, thank you for stopping by, catching this. For people that is going to catch the replay, make sure you share this thing and let's get it going. We out of here like Chuck Woolery in 2 and 2. See y'all later.